For me, it's more who would want the job anyway if they did sack him.
What, a Premier League job? There'd be loads.
That job, 1 point.
What?
That team
Surely.
that's been moulded by Wilder for him to manage. You think another manager's going to come in and think, yeah, I can keep them up?
The irony of this is, I did say about a week ago, I said, what are Sheffield United's options? And knowing that, I mean, the fans went crazy. You know, he's never going to get sacked. He took us in there. We want him to stay with us. Even if we go down, we want him best place to bring us back up. I'm not even sure about that one. But I said, well, if just say he walked away from it thinking, I don't want to take this team down. I can't do anything more. You know, I've gone as far as I can go. Just say he walked away. Chris Wilder walked away from Sheffield United. I'd said Sam Allardyce could actually go in there and make them more solid and possibly, in the way they play, possibly with those players, improve them. You can't imagine them having 1 point from the next 12 games if Sam had taken over. He's gone to West Brom, so that ain't going to happen. But that kind of appointment, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, but I feel like because of how he's got them up the leagues with Sheffield United, they're going to stick with him no matter what. I'm sure I've seen reports that their chairman thinks that anyway, that no matter if they do go down, they're going to keep him as the manager. But it's a tough club to go and manage for a manager. I think even Sam Allardyce would have turned it down, to be honest.
So
even if he was offered, I think he would have turned it down.
Whoever's, because of the or lack of quality in the squad, no manager can keep them up.
I think you've laughed earlier on, haven't you? 12 games to get 1 point, and it's a Sheffield United team that last season you'd say, you know what, they'd win games 1-0 because they don't concede. This season they're conceding so many goals, and even their strikers don't look like scoring. Last season you'd see McGoldrick, you know, he'd be looking like scoring, maybe Billy Sharp, but this season none of them even look like scoring. I think that's a massive problem, and managers will look at that, they'll be like, this is a massive job. And sometimes you don't just take any job available. There has to be some sort of belief that you can keep the club up. I think that's why Allardyce just took the West Brom job, and he probably been offered behind closed doors maybe the Sheffield United job as well, and turned that down.
Interesting. Do you know what? I understand the sentimental reasons why all Sheffield United fans would be so attached to Chris Wilder. You understand that, don't you? Totally. And I can't imagine any of them calling for Chris Wilder to go. But what they should, at the very least, be doing is scrutinising his decisions, because he's got £50 million worth of strikers in Musette, in McBurney, and another one I can't remember. But he's spent a lot of money on strike. Ryan Brewster on striker. I mean, he's come out and said this week, Chris Wilder, that you should back off criticism of Brewster, because he's a work in progress. He's one for the future,
Yeah,
but they need goals now.
Yeah, but Brewster shouldn't be getting anything. It's Wilder. Why spend so much money on a striker and not play him? Because 1 week he's playing Burke and Matt Burney. Next week McGoldrick's playing. Next week Sharp. Next week Mousset. Next week it's Brewster. It's a bit erratic, isn't it? He doesn't know which team to play. I mean, what's he going to play tonight? Is he going to play Brewster? You know, you're going to give him any game time, a start, when you paid so much money for a club that's got a small budget and you're not playing him. He needs to start.